All right, we are out here at the Denmark Drone Park, and I am showing you our World's iVue software here, the development version that we've been using over the last couple of test flights. While you can share your location, I want to show that you can also use an address to zoom into a location. And I didn't enter in the address fully, but it still comes up, and now we're here at Denmark Drone Park. I opened up the iVue RoboControl app, and now if I plug in my radio and set up this Developer XE, we can go ahead and connect to it and start a flight. Beyond being a standard Developer XE with substandard props, nothing really wrong with these props. They're just 13 inches instead of the 15-inch props that now come standard on the Developer XE. We have a little surprise. We already flew with some Developer micro props inside this cargo container, have something a little bit heavier, and if all works out, we'll do another flight with what's inside the box, theoretically speaking. So, all right, let's go ahead and set up this Developer XE. We're on a different side of the drone park than we typically are, trying to be somewhat courteous. Said me never. All right. Again, just folding out the props. Pretty good practice. Not really necessary. Again, in theory. Can see the green light. That means we have a connection. See how many satellites we're connected to. Connect. 8 satellites. Let's wait till we have 10. Oh, there we go. Already jumped up to 12. Just plugged in our PlayStation controller we'll fly with. Press the cross button, not the X button. Ever since I learned it's a cross and not an X, officially speaking, I have to make a big deal out of it. All right, and now I'm just going to select fly drone, arm and fly, hit launch, and theoretically should take off just fine. All right, and I have the gamepad already activated, so let me put it into loiter flight mode, and yep. Now let's find out what's in the box. Making it a little difficult for a camera operator. Didn't mean to go that close to him. Wasn't thinking, me not thinking. All right, nice and easy. So I'm just holding down the left stick to see if it'll disarm automatically. If not, you might just need to select disarm. Okay, and it did go ahead and disarm. So the iVue RC app is still showing that it's armed, but let me go ahead and try going up on the throttle. Made me a little uneasy to do that, but we are in fact disarmed. So let me see if I refresh the screen if it now shows. No, so that is a bug that Mohit will need to fix. So if we disarm just by the idle time, it doesn't update in our software. So let's go ahead and check out what's in the box, shall we? We'll bring it over to the table. Dun, da, 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 da. Oh my gosh, what's that? A rail and a spotlight. You mean we can fly with a spotlight attached to Developer? I would like to see you, take out a cargo container off the bottom of a DJI Phantom and attach a spotlight in its place. And now ideally I wouldn't even have to use a screwdriver to do this, but again, a development platform, people. If you think you can do it better, either download all the files that you need, buy all of the components that we have listed in the bill of materials, build your own developer and build your own cargo container and modular attachment system, or, you know, buy one from us and then, you know, still come up with your own better modular attachment system. But in any case, we are working on that as well. This is just a thrown together cargo container for the holiday season. Taking the same screws that were holding the cargo container in place, and then we're going to mount the rail to the bracket. It'd be great if I was, you know, I was going to say, well, I guess I'm going to say it now, a Machamp, if any of you guys in a Pokemon with 4 hands, right? You know, that would be great. But alas, I am a mere mortal. Hypothetically speaking. Sound effects are necessary, people. As seamless as this, you know, who wants to, you know, bring a tool set out to the drone park or anywhere you're going to be flying, right? Oh my gosh, Jacob doesn't even know how to use a screwdriver. What the? I can do it, Mom, I promise. There we go. All right, and now that the rail is attached, we should just be able to slide on the spotlight nice and easy, like so. And now we have 2 connections for the spotlight. Let me get on the other side of it. So we have this connection that comes out from the side that runs through like a channel, and that controls the tilt of the spotlight. Since this is the shorter cable, we're gonna plug it in this port closest to the right, or I guess, yeah, if you're looking at it, the right. And I just made a newbie mistake, so I plugged it in upside down, and you could tell that where the ground cable, as indicated by the brown or black wire, should be closer to the ground, right? Wow, what a clever idea. So it's kind of labeled without being labeled. And same thing, black close to the ground, and this second cable is actually to control the light, turning it on and off. So let's go ahead and set the developer XE back out. Again, we'll do it a little ways away from us, because, you know, we trust our own product to work well and not go haywire with any, you know, attachments slung to the bottom of it. That's never happened before. Well, that's never happened before, even without any payloads slung to the bottom of it, hypothetically speaking. We have never had any problems in the course of our development history. It's all been smooth sailing and smooth flying. All right, it shows that we have a connection to 15 satellites. I'm going to disconnect and then connect again just to see how accurate. Wow, 17 satellites, ladies and gentlemen, on the base model GPS unit. That's pretty great. So we're gonna go ahead and select fly, arm and fly, launch drone. All right, and let me see, is the gamepad still activated? It is. Now I'm in loiter flight mode. And I'm just gonna bring the developer closer to me so I can also see what's going on. And I'm going to try to make it at an angle that both Brian, our camera operator, and I can both see. So Brian, that looks good from your angle. Cool. So I'm going over to the mod kit screen, and now you can see we have multiple mod kits that we have in various stages of prototyping or development, some even not listed here, but we're going to select the spotlight. Now we can see for the spotlight, there's actually 2 connections that are required, and I already walked through those connections when I was plugging them into the side plate. The vertical tilt was the closest one to the right, and then the lights were plugged into port number 14. You don't really have to know those numbers, you just have to be able to match the ports with the side plate on Develop Air. So again, these are white images of side plates, as Develop Air used to be white, but these will be updated to red. So now I can go ahead and turn on the light just with the simple on switch, and then I can actually adjust the brightness as well. So I actually am just clicking on various parts, but you can also use the buttons as well, and that also works for tilting down as well as tilting up. And we actually have that reversed, and you can see there's actually a bug with that light where it's flashing and it's not actually supposed to, so I just turned it off, turn it back on, and it's flashing. So again, this spotlight mod kit is in prototyping stage, much as Develop Air is as well, but as you can see, it is fairly intuitive, where if you wanted to do this via another software program like Mission Planner, let me show you how that would be done. This really wouldn't even be possible via Q ground control unless you wanted to control the spotlight via an automated mission and setting a waypoint, again in Q ground control. But in Mission Planner, you would have to use the servo screen and then use the PWM values and servo numbers that if I show here, this is actually not working correctly. I should be able to see the PWM and servo values selecting that settings or gear icon. Let me actually show you what that looks like in the production version that I think does display it at least correctly. So spotlight, and then here you could actually adjust all the values if you were, you know, one of those nerds that wanted to do your own development. But in any case, let me show you again in Mission Planner how you'd have to control the spotlight without having such an intuitive app like we are making in the iVue RoboControl app. So now I would have to go to servo 13 and 14, set the min and max values, and then select low, medium, or high, like low to tilt it up and down, or to tilt it down. And there we go. That's one hell of an end to a test light session, ladies and gentlemen. So I bet there's some sort of power failure where that light was flickering, and maybe the Arduino in that spotlight mod kit, I don't know, was drawing too much power or something. We'll definitely have to troubleshoot that. But again, that's why we do testing, ladies and gentlemen. They don't always go the way that you want them to, but just puts us one step closer to where we need to be. So I guess we'll wrap it up here, a little bit shorter than what I expected. Thanks for watching, and you'll catch us in the next one. Peace.